You know, we used to always say on our podcast, "Welcome back, perfect peeps." We need a new saying, Brittany.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. I was like, what are we going to say when Splash is done?
Hey, all you crazy coders, welcome to Code with
Crazy cat coders.
Hey, cool cats. Oh,
Cool
I
cats.
think I
Yeah.
have that in a promo somewhere. Hey, cool cats.
Nice. Yeah.
So, if you can't tell, this is our very first live coding. We're trying to do it through StreamYard, and I unfortunately am down to a single monitor, so we might have to bear with me on how the code looks and things like that. But we promise we will improve as we go along here.
And we're also trying to get everything installed and running in the background.
So we're a little behind, but hopefully we'll catch up very quickly. So Brittany's going to kind of teach me a little bit of SvelteKit. And when I say a little bit, just teach me everything you know, because you're awesome.
Will
And
do.
hopefully, if we get enough time, we'll hook up some Notion backend to SvelteKit and make some pages. Sound cool?
Oh, yes. That sounds great. I just realized that StreamYard posts to everything, all the things.
It's on all the things. James has got a yo. Look at that. Love the Twitch. We'll have to check out Twitch some more.
I know.
All right. So first things first, like I said, this is a little rough, but here is kind of how I'm thinking we can do our screen share for now. At moments I might go full screen, but then I can't see Brittany talking to me, so it'll be a little more difficult, but I think we'll manage. So Brittany told me the first thing I need to do is to do npm init
Spelt at next and name your project.
What should we call this? Like CCD?
Where should we create your project? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that works. We want a skeleton project just to get a base thing in there. And I'm going to let you choose to pick TypeScript or not.
Oh, you know me.
I know. And then obviously we want ESLint and Prettier probably for ours. And then they have this new Playwright browser testing. So
Playwright. I mean, we don't.
It configures it for you. You don't have to use it.
Okay, let's do it.
But it sets everything up. So, and now
might be useful for when we go into our more advanced Svelte course that we're going to create.
I'm not doing the testing part of it. You can jump on that.
I knew you'd say that. Awesome. Okay, so CD into CCD. Oops, no, that's our main one. That's gonna be the wrong thing.
CD up.
Svelte.
And SvelteKit. We have a lot of Coding Cat Dev repos in there.
Wait 2 minutes. I was going through my Firebase projects, and because I was writing a project to manage Firebase projects, I could create them on the fly, and I have it's ridiculous. So many. Okay, so I did that thing. I did this thing. Looks like you have to do this separately. You can't.
I mean, you don't have to do that. That just goes ahead and sets up you need an extra quote there on the end. That sets up your get init for you and adds your first initial commit and gets all that set up. But
did we ever decide as a development community that we need something more than an initial commit?
I don't know, but I just realized that you're in a mono repo, right?
Well, this is, hang on, let me do this.
Is that web folder? Is that our main CCD or what is?
We're just going to hang out directly in this new SvelteKit project.
Okay. So that was totally fine. Okay. Yep. So we initiated the new Git thing. We just don't have it on GitHub yet.
Correct.
It's not pushed to the cloud.
We can do that though with our cool command line.
GH repo create.
Oh, it's a repo. How is that?
I know. I always get it backwards too. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it.
SvelteKit. Is there more to it? I feel like
you don't even have to do that part. It'll prompt you, but there's some things that you can do. And so you want to push an existing local repository. and that's
Yeah.
the path, and that's the repository name.
Coding cat dev on SvelteKit. Yep. We always learn in public, right? LVP, folks.
And you probably want to add your remote to that, and that'll go ahead and set up your remote origin. You can call it origin in the next step.
Yep. Sweet. Yep.
Hey, Mac, how's it going?
That. What up, Mac? In the house. I like it.
Mac's go-to.
How are we gonna do our without OBS? How are we gonna have boops and stuff?
No, I don't know how we're gonna get it into StreamYard, but we're gonna have to figure out like a routing thing, and that's what I want to work on. One of these streams is like doing overlay stream to OBS to StreamYard.
We can do that.
I'm pretty sure we can do it. I don't know how the audio pipes through yet. That's the problem.
I think it'll be fine because RTMP I think allows, but we'll do that another day. That'll be fun.
Yeah, Mac, we don't have any Twitch chat redemptions yet. That's what we were just talking about. Is we're going to try to do this Twitch thing more often and try to get our Twitch stream set up too. But first, we're working with SvelteKit today. So
interesting little bug, by the way, on StreamYard. We should let them know. I can't see this last comment down here.
Oh, that's interesting. I can, but I'm on a 4K monitor, so
I bet you if I do that, well,
yeah. Oh, Inception.
I was like gonna promise I wouldn't do that, but sorry, folks. Okay, so we've made it into creating our SvelteKit. Tell me what's going on. This looks like any other thing I've done for the most part. It's got a source folder. It's got some routes.
If you used any newer framework like Next.js or Nuxt, or I mean, even Solid and Quick have a similar layout where we have a source folder, and then in that source folder we have a routes folder, and the routes folder is similar to Next.js's pages folder, which I know CodingCat is on Next.js, so you're going to be familiar with that. So anything you create in the routes directory is a route.
So Next.js just released like this kind of Inception like app version of that instead of pages. Is that a thing where I have to worry about like nested routes and things like that? Or?
So it's a call for comments. What's the proposal thing right now on SvelteKit to do that? I'm kind of against it, but you may go and voice your opinion on the matter if you want nested. So we have nested layouts. Maybe I'm misspeaking about that because we have nested layouts, but there's this new proposal to do routing where I don't even understand it. It's like making it more explicit. So you have to have a folder, and you can't do like the index.svelte file for the folder anymore. It has to be like named appropriately, but it's a proposal that they got from Next, and they're talking about adding it to SvelteKit. But we do have nested layouts. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying.
No, you covered exactly what I was asking. That's awesome.
Okay, so we do have nested layouts though. So you could create a layout file that would wrap that index.svelte file. Do you want me to show you how to do that?
Maybe let's finish like talking about like index and at least bring up what the heck this thing looks like.
So let's do npm run dev. Get our server running.
We got localhost 3000.
Yep.
That is a very, very basic localhost.
This is the skeleton project. So we started with absolutely nothing. And if you wanted, we could have done the demo project and we would see a little bit more stuff here.
No, it's all good. I like it. Feel free, folks, if what is this? I also disapproved because I nice.
Yeah. James has some redemptions where you can change his VS Code theme. So he has the hot dog theme. Have you seen this?
I haven't seen the hot dog one. No.
Oh, it's really bad. Please don't add it. It's really, really bad.
I like fun themes. So basically, once we got this kind of SvelteKit area going, now I need to almost immediately, like in my head, I'm going CodingCat already, and I'm like, our main CodingCat page, and maybe it's worthwhile to actually like bring it up to recent.
This is the problem with coding, is that your brain goes to the biggest project possible right away.
always does.
I mean, any developer that I know, And it's like, what should I do to scale this app? Like, how many things do I need? And just build it, add in things as you need. It's Jamstack philosophy.
Yeah, I'm down with that. So if we start to compare those, so I have an app folder. There's an app.html here, so that kind of is the head piece.
So the app.html is just kind of the base bones of your application. So that SvelteKit head is where our head component in Svelte gets injected, and then that body's where the rest of your Svelte components get injected.
Cool. Is this very common with the, is this the sugar syntax I keep reading about or no?
No, this is not. This is just like, this is literally a template file just to
Okay.
inject the stuff, and you barely touch this file unless you're maybe adding some links or meta tags up in the top there that you want completely on every page.
So I can also add a Svelte head somewhere else if I want to do SEO in pages?
Yes, you could.
Okay, sweet. So let's jump back here. So my immediate curiosity is if I wanted to pull not our index file necessarily, but if I wanted to start to create either pages or like our podcast, our pod page. So for reference, people do Coding Cat. So this is our main page. We could like mock this out, but I kind of want to understand if I wanted pages like our podcast has pages and then, or a listing, and then within that it has its own pages like this.
Yes. So what you're asking for is dynamic routing. And I know you're going to even go even farther with this permalink thing that we have and do that, which you can also do.
We
like
can start easy though. I'm down with
yeah. Okay. So if we wanted to create just a podcast route, we can create a folder.
Okay. Just call
podcast, and that will be your top level slash. So whatever you name that, and then the index.svelte file inside of that is going to hit that podcast route.
Now it's probably worth me asking: is it always a Svelte file, or can you do like HTML file?
A .svelte file is your Svelte markup. If you created a JS or TS file inside of that routes directory, it's an endpoint.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So it's still a route, but it's an endpoint rather than an actual page you can see.
And when you say endpoint, like API endpoint?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. That's a very interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
I will have to think about that one as we build out this page. Okay, so basically this would be our podcast listing at this point. So how do I go about fetching data? Is there a get static props? What does that look like?
So you would just create a script tag.
Okay.
And in SvelteKit, so this is the interesting part. So if you want to fetch something on the server, you do it in an endpoint. So we would create an index.js or TS file.
Okay.
But if you wanted to fetch it on the client, we could do it in a script context module inside of the index.svelte file. So we can do it either way.
I'd love to do it on the server side just because of our keys and things.
Yep. So. Okay. So we need an index.js file, or TS, I'm sorry, TS.
You read my mind.
Yeah. So B1 Mind was saying that page endpoints are wonderful and just learned yesterday how to use them. And I love the term shadow endpoints, which is what they were called in the request for comments.
I think you and Rich talked about that, right?
Yeah, we did. So page endpoints are when the endpoint corresponds to the name of your route. So you have an index.svelte file and an index.ts file. So automatically under the scenes, whatever this index.ts file returns is going to be imported into the props of the index.svelte file without you doing anything.
Cool. So basically I need to do something like this. Interesting. What is this lib? Is this like a...
If Rich hates it, I mean, I'm sorry. I can be anti-Rich for a minute, can I? Can I have my own opinion?
You're gonna get fired from Svelte.
Oh no, I'm gonna get canceled, right?
Yep, you're gonna get canceled. Cancel culture.
Please don't.
Friday, everybody. We're a little giddy. So what's this lib thing all about?
So
Did I
these
get
are
that?
aliases in
Okay.
SvelteKit. So
Oh,
these
sweet.
the $lib comes by default, but you can configure your own aliases, which I do in my repos. I set it as an at because I like the readability of
Mm.
at lib
So this
instead
is
of
the equivalent of us doing things like that with that?
exactly. And
Okay.
I even take that slash out. So I do like at lib slash and
So you
then
do that in
whatever's
your
inside
TF
that folder.
config?
You would do that in your Svelte config, and they
Oh,
just made this top level. So I
okay.
believe under the kit property there, you can put a comma under adapter
Oh, okay.
and then alias. And I don't know, they just changed this, so I'm gonna
I
have
don't
to
know how
look
you
this up.
remember this stuff.
Yeah, because I wrote a whole blog post on this. That's how I remember this one.
So there's components, and you can do it.
Kit.svelte.dev is where I'm looking. Docs and need to find alias.
I think it's right here on the screen. So it looks like instead of
Yes.
doing utilities
So
or something, I could do like at.
an at symbol, and you might have to put it in quotes for the JSON to.
Oh,
Yep. And then you
something.
do that, and sometimes VS Code freaks out on you. If VS Code freaks out on you, then you add it to your TS config. But I wouldn't even bother right now unless it just keeps yelling at you that these files don't exist.
Okay. Source.
So the reason that lib is there is because lib is kind of a convention in SvelteKit. It's not something that you have to use, but lib is kind of where everything lives, like utils, components. If you started up the demo app, that's where
Should
everything
I
lives
do
at.
it that way so people don't
It's
get confused?
it's a personal preference. It's not a you must do it this way. It's just a convention that
Okay.
SvelteKit has.
Hey, just FYI, everyone watching, just want to know. Gosh, you guys are on it today. If you're having a hard time seeing the code, let me know. I'll go full screen. I just like talking with a person, so Brittany's kind of over here on my left.
I'm gonna peek out my window because I hear excavators.
I was warned that Brittany's got a pool going in, and she might have to bounce out to yell at somebody. So.
Yeah, there's excavators in my backyard. So can I help you get something up on docks so I can run outside real quick?
The only thing I'm kind of wondering if I call services from here, I'll figure it out. You go do your thing.
No, hang on. So
Okay.
I need to tell you something. So
All right.
in those endpoints, those are HTTP methods. So you have get, post, delete, update. I don't remember all of them, but those are export, const, get for a get request. So in your endpoints, so it says like export async function get right there in the endpoint doc that you're on.
Am I gonna then like fetch that in here?
Yes, inside there. So you're doing a get request and you're going to fetch inside of that.
So I don't write server-side code in .svelte. I do
Later,
it
Anthony,
all in here.
you do it all in the endpoint if you want it to be server side. And
Okay.
there may be some more that we have to do with that, but I'll have to look into that in just a minute.
Okay.
But
yeah, go.
I'll be right back.
We'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
All right, folks. So I'm really scared now. I hope she comes back. So it looks like we have source routes items ID for this example. So that's kind of interesting. But I don't think I need that. So let's do this. Let's copy that. It looks like we're going to do at services. Maybe not. Let's go back here. Might have to restart maybe. Source services. Let me restart maybe. I have a feeling we're going to run into TypeScript issues, but that's just me being crazy. We'll see. So I've got Notion. Now if I come back into my index, I'm thinking this should be Notion. Oh, it did work. I'm crazy. Okay. So I think what we can do, because I have all of our Notion stuff kind of done already for our podcast, I think I can pull that over. So if I go to our services folder, I have this Notion service file already created, which is cool. I should be able to drop that in. definitely doesn't like that. From services, maybe it doesn't like the dot. It's interesting. Okay. Oh, no, I see what I'm doing. My bad. I think what it doesn't like is this. Okay, now we're in business. So it sounds like from an endpoint perspective, oh man, I've had to use TypeScript on a recent work project. I've managed to avoid it. So that is funny, Anthony. I love TypeScript. It saves my behind often, but I know there's a love-hate for me, and I am not shy to throw the any in, whereas there's so many people that would hate me right now in the TypeScript world because I'm like, I just need to get it done. But most of the time, I try to stick with strict until I just hit a wall. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out from a route standpoint, if I do a page endpoint and instead of like this setup, I just want to list items on a page. I think I can still just use a get like this. So I guess we'll see. I wish there was typing in here, but it doesn't look like there is. So I'm just, like I said, I'm going to cheat anyways and just do this for now. So params, I guess. For types request handler. Is that maybe a thing? Let's see here. Oh, no, I see what's going on there. That's interesting. Gotta love live coding. Let's see here. To the page props. Okay, that's cool. I like that's going to pass that into the page. It's interesting working in a separate file to do this stuff on like Next. So I've gotten too used to that. So what I'm going to do for this one on our Notion side, I'm going to have to clean some things up over here too. But for now, let's see if we can get just some of our pages going. So basically, I need to get I don't remember the name of it. Format posts. Query by published. This is what we're looking for. So this will give us a listing of any one of our types. I'm guessing I need to do some installs first. So because we are calling the Notion API, what I'm going to do is do npm install. I think it is Notion at Notion. This one. Shout out to the Notion folks. Thank you for finally releasing an API. It's been awesome, especially since we did all of our podcasts in Notion. So just to show you a little behind the scenes of what our daily looks like. We often will sit down in the morning, Britt and I, and just talk about like what streams we have coming up and things like that. And then this is our list that we go to for people coming up that are scheduled, people that are just about to come on, like Greg, we finished yesterday, so that should go and recorded. And basically anything that has passed recorded and we're finished with and all of the like editing is done inside of Notion on this page here, we will then release it. And once it's in that published state or released state, we're good to go. So actually, that brings up a good point. I'm thinking that I copied the wrong one because this perfect dev has a little bit of sort to it. Perfect stream by released. So that's the one we need. So let's see here. Okay, so let's do that. And then instead of our db get params ID, what we're going to do, because I don't need to get a parameter, item return item, I think all I have to do is posts or whatever we want to, I'll just call it posts equals, and we're going to give it a page size of, it doesn't matter for this, so let's just do 10,000. We'll get them all. See how this goes. We're going to await that. And then I think what it's saying is I can return an entire list of items. So if posts, return posts, I think that's the long and short of it. I don't know how to do environment variables. So if anyone, I see Ben Myers. If anyone knows how to do environment variables, definitely throw me a comment. But in the meantime, I will look it up. How do I use environment variables? That is a great question. Let's see. Vite uses .env. Forgot we're using Vite. So that's interesting. I wonder if the Vite underscore actually means it's only exposed publicly, like the next public. Oh, let's see, Anthony. Thank you. Yes. Okay, let's see here. .env process. Ooh, do we need to use .env? Is that a package? I know .env is a package that is used. So process.environment. Hello, hello. Let's see, yarn add, yeah, okay. That's what I was thinking. So let's do that. I'm not gonna use yarn, you can kill me later, but npm install -d .env. Okay, and then it looks like we just need process m variable. So let's do, that is gonna have to go in here. So we have way too much cleanup because I have all kinds of types we didn't move over with this. So we might have to ignore some things and start from scratch. Let me find this and hopefully we can get close. I want to leave posts and so I want format posts and format posts. I think those are going to be the big ones for us. There it is. All right. Format posts. I think I can delete almost all the rest of this typing stuff for now. So we got format post, just to get it in the right format. Format all our posts, and now we have query by released. And I'm gonna go down and oh, I hear Brittany. I'm gonna clean
back, but I can't hear anything.
all the rest of this up. So I'm fighting with TypeScript at the moment, if you can hear me. Okay.
Spotify just started playing music. I was like, what is happening? Okay, so how far did you get?
Not super far. I was trying to clean up our Notion file. What I came up to was calling our Notion to get some posts. I think I passed those posts into the body, and that's as far as I've gotten. So right now we were talking about how the heck do I get environment variables? So
okay, so environment variables are from Vite, but those will be exposed to the client. So if you want to do something that's not exposed to the client, which we were talking about earlier, you're going to do .env, yeah, or another package.
I think .env plus, oops, plus process can't type, and then whatever our variable is. I'm gonna bounce off screen for 1 second to drop in our super secret codes. You happen to know if that .env can go anywhere? At the root, probably, I hope.
Anywhere. Yeah, .env would go at your root. The .env file, is that what you're...
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes in the root.
One sec, let me find...
Oh, James is saying that he hasn't gotten .env to work with private variables.
No.
That's not a good thing.
True?
I hope not. I'm gonna start.
Let's check out. It looks like Anthony has an example of it. Oh,
yes, look, Anthony for the win.
Why can I not copy that comment? That's frustrating. So we got GitHub, steps in. I think you have seen this example now that he says that.
I'll be right back again.
Steps in, dev examples. Examples with SvelteKit. With SSS, can't spell. All right, SvelteKit. Here's your .env. Cool, that's what we have. And then I think what he's saying is maybe one. Nope, it's not gonna be in there. .js. Maybe JSON has one. Yes. Cool. This looks awesome. Import.env process m. Where are you actually using? Maybe this is all I need. Well, actually, I think that would be the same then. What is this complaining about? Object is possibly undefined. All right. Let's just do the little cheat here and see how this goes. So
I'm so sorry, folks. Today has been interesting.
I'm going to do this plus that. What am I doing? I want to do...
I can't see what you're doing, so I don't know if your environment.
Oh, my bad. Coming back. Here we go.
There we go. Okay.
So let's see here. I want to do that or something. So what am I trying to do? I want to do this.
I was trying to get the live share to work. Is that link still active?
Let's do that for now. Let me check. Live share. Let me send it over to you. Anyone else that wants to completely mess with us, I can send you the live share link. Just let me know.
Is that it in the chat now? Or is that the old one?
That's the one I just sent.
Okay.
Okay, so I do have this notion to markdown. I don't know that we need that at the moment. So I'm going to delete that too. Oh, lots of complaints.
Do I trust this workspace?
No, I wouldn't.
I do. I think I still don't see anything. This thing is being all finicky.
We're just going fast and furious here, folks. Let's see. Oh boy. All right. I should just make this. Let's see how many of these I have. Oh yeah. Let me just pull that over from our old one. You know, the only thing I don't like about doing this kind of setup is I guarantee I'm going to show one of our public keys sooner or later.
Oh, yeah. I can't get into the public link either, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's a bummer. We'll have to work on that for next time.
Oh, that worked. Just, oh, there you go.
Oh, I like the face. Good work with that. I love that.
Save.
What am I looking for? Post type. There we go. This should help us. Here.
I'm like looking back and forth, like at your screen and then at my screen.
Is it freaking you out?
It is. And it's so fast.
Doing that always freaks me out.
It said, Alex, another Alex. We have so many Alexes.
This is the
Send
most
it. Everything will be fine. Just send it. It's fine.
Just send it. Sure. I can make that a const. So complainy. Come on.
You want a TypeScript. You're going to get some red lines angry at you.
I don't get the whole unsafe chaining, but whatever. Oh, you know what?
Put the little question.
This?
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
that didn't work.
Huh.
What does it say when you hover over it? Oh, I guess I can too.
Unsafe usage of optional chaining if it short circuits with undefined. Yeah. Okay. That's probably because if you were to do this, you would then have to do or that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Alex. So silly. Cool. Getting there. Got a lot of warnings. Probably another const. Really adamant about using a const these days.
And you better not put any's in there.
Well, I know. I already tried to say everyone TypeScript. I'm sorry.
This is like for real. If you're using TypeScript, prepare for safer code and squiggly lines. Lots of squiggly lines.
We like the squiggles. It will save you in production, just FYI. I don't even need this section. We're not going to do courses right now. So let's just pull.
You have got so much code in like the minute that it felt like a minute.
Oh, I dumped this all in from Coding Cat. So I did write this all this week though, which has been fun. Let's see here. So this actually comes from Notion, so we should be okay there.
Use any everywhere.
Everywhere. Just use it everywhere. I'm just going to use it right here too.
I do love StreamYard because it's so easy to just put a comment up.
Use any. Wait, I've tried anywhere. How do you No, it's not working. Just kidding. Bad jokes. It's a Friday. I feel like I'm getting close. Fix all auto fixable. Dumb thing. Okay, one more config thing. So the utilities class, I can use that for everything, right? So
is this called notion.server.ts? I'm very confused about what you're creating here.
That is going to
Is this like a utility thing to help? Okay.
Yep. And I'm about to do an actual utility class or a config class as well because I like that. So I'm going to do.
I'm getting confused with your folder structure.
It sucks. We'll talk about it. Give me one more second, and I think we'll be really, really close to being there. So did I say config?
There's a missing I in there.
Oh my goodness. This is why paired programming, I think, should have been a really big thing. Don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to be in the future.
I don't know. It costs too much, people say, but I think it saved a lot of production bugs, personally.
I think it made us produce things faster at Granger. Like we pair programmed on the last few components that we did. And I feel like it just made, I don't know, you can think through things and rubber duck faster.
Yeah, I mean.
Especially with this remote first work environment we're in now.
Yeah, for sure. I forgot what I was looking for. Oh yeah, config. So I have a config file somewhere. Notion. Sweet. A lot of things in there. Config. Oh my gosh. Copy, paste. Why won't I paste? Copy, paste. There we go. All right. So for those who are completely lost, basically I'm just trying to get to the point where we are able to call Notion pretty easily and we can talk about like what is happening in it. So we just don't waste a ton of time doing that. And then Brittany will get me back to sveltiness and hopefully we can build off that. Looks like I have this right here is what we're looking for. So I need to import config from @config Notion. Why doesn't it?
So because you named it Notion.server.
Where is the svelte config again? Config.
That's right. That's not the problem. Okay. It's that Notion.server.ts file. So do you need like the .server?
No, so that part's good. We're already using the Notion piece.
Why is it mad at you? Let's hover over that and cannot find module or its corresponding type declarations. Do you have the Svelte VS Code extension?
Probably not. This one?
Looks like you do. Yeah. Sometimes this gets a little buggy for me, honestly, and it yells at you and it's fine. So I would just ignore it for now.
I'll restart.
You can try to reload your window too, and sometimes that fixes it.
Let's do that first and then
it's reload window.
I don't know if I reload the window if it'll lose you, but
oh, maybe.
There we go.
Restart TypeScript server, yeah, maybe.
I did that. That didn't work. Reload is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, it did end my session, but that's fine.
We can
work this way today.
Reshare, but either way. So I had this working because it works within here. So this works like when I pull in services file. You know what I mean? It works inside of TS.
That's it. Yeah. Save it. And it's not working. Is that what you're saying in the...
It won't work inside of this. It's almost like because this isn't in the Svelte area. I don't know. That's weird.
No, it's still fine because it's in the SRC folder. And the path is right, isn't it? So it's the path in your Svelte config file was /src/config, right?
Let me open it back up. Yeah, I mean, it's the same as this one. Am I crazy? @services, @config. Maybe we should just use lib. If you ant to hide env in the Explorer, there's a setting. Oh, yes. That is a good call. We should do that.
Oh, there is. Yeah, I've heard that there's like an extension or something you can use too that will blur them out.
I think it's just directly a setting in VS Code, but I could be, wrong.
They integrate it?
All right, this is annoying. So I'm just going to grab this, and I think it'll do the same thing. Or actually, we could even put it in the services file, I guess. Just for sake of time.
And just do a /. I mean,
okay.
That works.
The only thing I haven't done is this .env, but on a Mac, I don't think I need to do that for all these. So all you Windows folks need .env, not this guy. I'm probably talking out
.env?
Here. We're going to do this because Alex, the other Alex, or the other Alex is suggesting it, and I like that. So let's go into, I'll do it on my user settings for now. Files, exclude. Star.env, I think.
Yeah, that should work.
Star then.
You have a star at the end, yeah, for the local. Yep.
Hey, look at that. It's gone. I still will probably somehow go like this and find it. Oh.
Search it.
Oh,
it doesn't even find it in the...
I like that. I'm going to do that for node modules next.
We have 15 minutes.
Oh, no, 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Yeah, it's a 90 minute.
Oh, then I got to go in 15 minutes. Maybe in like 10 minutes.
Okay. So basically, we have gotten nowhere except showing off how to get this started. So what I really want to get to is, now that I think we are able to get posts, I think, because everything's checking out so far. I'm sure we're going to have some issue.
Because we can't see, so maybe we should get it imported. Maybe I should tell you the Svelte stuff before I.
Yeah, exactly. How do
we can
I
see something on
how
the
do I
screen.
pull that in?
So let's go back to localhost 3000 there.
Okay. Oop, I got to actually run it.
Your other screen. Oh, it's not running. I see.
Oh,
Tab. Okay. So that is your main index.svelte file in the routes directory, but we need the podcast. So we need to go to /podcast.
okay.
Okay. So it's undefined. Why is it undefined?
I don't know.
Okay, because you're using an endpoint, the index.ts file, and you're not bringing anything in.
Okay.
So a prop in Svelte, it uses kind of a module thing where you import and export. So you export let your variable name. So post is
If
what
I
you're
look
bringing in.
Here, I export.
So so that is, no, those posts are being returned. And so
Okay.
you're going to put them into the index.svelte file, but to do that, it needs to export the variable to grab it. So it's a prop. So just think of it as a prop. Export, let, post. I use that module because it's like exporting allows other things to access it. So right now that endpoint is accessing that prop post.
Okay.
And it's still not coming through. So now you need to console log it, or
What about
put some markup.
Does body automatically do that? Like, do I have to say body or anything like that?
Body, and then no, that's the way that works. So you put an object, return an object to the body, and then it's post, and then post should come through as
you know what?
a prop.
This is failing on the
on a different. I figured it was failing somewhere else.
Okay, I'm gonna go off screen once. Can you debug easily on the server side, or no?
I don't know. You can. I mean, you can console log in there, and it will console out that. I don't have any server side rendered sites. I have a static site.
Valid request URL. Invalid. Boy, I wish it had more details than invalid request URL.
Notion HQ client request fail code.
I feel like maybe the config is off. It sounds like this part's working, so maybe I do need the .env. I don't know.
Did you not install .env?
I wanna. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I kind of am wondering though, in our config, if I need to put that on all of these. I also, okay, I'm gonna go off screen 1 sec.
Oh yes, on all of those need to use .env because you're using Vite, and so you have to use like the Vite .env stuff if you're exposing variables.
I thought that was only on the client side for Vite.
No, it does it on both sides.
Okay. We can do this quick, hopefully.
Yeah, James, that's what we think is happening is the .env variables are not coming in, but he was using process.env instead of .env in that file, so he's going to try and fix that. Oops. Vite doesn't handle the private ones. Vite does handle them on the server and the client, though. So it gets from the endpoint and will import that import.meta.env, that Vite env thing that you have to do will expose to the client, though, even though it reads it on the server.
This or that.
He's saying he would have thought it would still be process.env.
Yeah, I feel like the same. So the reason I'm off screen, I'm going to console log the config and see if it's actually producing anything.
Okay.
console log config.
I didn't know we were going to be going so far into the EMV and server-side stuff today. I would have done a little more research.
So that came out as an object.
Instead of an array?
Instead of a string, actually, is kind of what I was expecting.
Oh. Yep. Anthony was saying Vite has the whole import.meta thing, but it will take your environment variables from the server. So you can use them on the server, but they're also exposed to the client. So endpoints in Svelte run on the server and then run again on the client with Vite somehow. I don't really understand how all of that works, but they don't stay private is the big thing that you need to take from that. So don't use the Vite environment variables. And James also scared me because he didn't get private environment variables working.
I completely agree with that.
But Anthony had that link. I need to get that.
Yeah, I have it open right here. It's the same. I don't know what the .env/config actually does though. Maybe that's what's going wrong. Why am I not able to? Okay, I'm going to show this without any of the console log.
Did you import .env config?
That's what I'm wondering, if I'm importing this incorrectly.
Things are breaking down at my house.
I'm wondering if I need to do it like that.
Can you even hear like the backyard stuff going on right now? You can.
I hear some of it, not all of it.
I wish I could take everyone on a tour of my backyard right now. There's some excavators, some sand, a pull frame, and a big pile of dirt over there that they're dealing with. And I got a lot of stuff going on. It's fun.
So, okay, let's talk through this. I go here. It's calling this. This file should have this happening.
Import for ESM. Where did you see that? Whoops.
What is, oh, really? What is this whole .env? I'm kind of wondering if I just don't use it, if it would work. I'm surprised it's not just pulling in process environment. It blows my mind.
I'm going to try pulling up that GitHub repo.
I agree with the whole thing with James. Maybe we need to write up a post on how to get these environment variables in.
I thought we were doing, the JSON.js. Is that what's happening? So there's this kind of weird convention that we're kind of doing away with in SvelteKit to return JSON from an endpoint. You had to name it .json.js or .ts. So is it not returning JSON?
We're not even making the call correctly yet. So we're not that far yet.
Are you laughing because I said it's kind of weird? It's really weird syntax. I don't like it.
I'll bounce off again and see if this console log will actually work. Okay, so when I do that, and I'll show this because it didn't actually work, this comes out as objects, and that's kind of the next step of, I need to figure that out.
Well, that looks like that needs to be parsed.
I'm wondering if .env is not coming in correctly, if it's coming out with that object like that. The weird thing is, anytime I like reload, it doesn't console log every time, which I find is very bizarre.
Like hot module reloading isn't working and isn't console logging every time?
Nope, it's just because the token's undefined. Okay, this makes more sense. So it is not pulling in process.env still.
So you're still importing wrong, Anthony's saying? Import.env from, with quotes, .env is for MJS.
And I tried it with config. So how do you do that?
Import.env from
Node
with quotes. Can we see the code again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Import.env from .env, not the config, I don't think.
I tried it just straight up.
Oh, and it didn't work.
No, I'm not gonna test this with that. I'm gonna test it with that at least. It'll be okay.
First line.
I feel like we're playing that game. First letter.
And it's at a delay, so it's super fun.
I love it. Thank you for sticking with us. Change to, yeah, I had it that way. That's the interesting part.
I might pop back on in a minute, but I have to run to the bus stop to pick my kids up from the last day of school. I have so much going on.
They don't need picked up.
No, they probably don't, but they'll probably yell at me when they get home if I don't. So
it's totally good. I think by the time you get back, we might have this fixed.
Okay. Thank you, Anthony and James, for
Line 4. I agree with that, but the problem at that point is process env does not come in then.
I will be back in a few. Bye.
So the problem, Anthony, maybe I should invite you to the stream so we could talk more directly. What do you think? Are you available, Anthony? If you are, I'll send you the StreamYard link and everyone can see it anyways. So feel free to join, apparently. Britt's doing stuff. I'm gonna take her off. I feel like this should work no matter what. Okay. Okay, let's start all over. Okay. So you're saying I don't need what? So you need import.env. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Come join me. I'll DM you the link or Discord you the link, I guess. While I'm doing that, let's see if I can get Anthony to actually join me. Anthony AJC. Paste red link. Okay, we might get some more joiners. It looks like I need some actual help from real programmers. So at this point, all we're trying to do is get these process EMVs. Look at that. There he is.
Yo.
It's just like that. Like, ask for help and they arrive. It's amazing. You guys rock.
Okay, so I've copy and pasted the same snippet like 10 times, and you're not actually doing it the way I'm writing it.
I can't copy the darn like when you write it. So it says import, and then are you just saying
that's it? No, I'm saying don't import
This.
from anything. Yeah.
This.
Yes, and then get rid of .env on line 4.
Yeah.
Like just have the process.env.notion token. Like you don't need any of those .envs in there. Yeah, what you could do is you can set all of them to process.env, do all the tokens at once, but let's not worry about that yet. Let's just get this to work. All right, see what happens.
So this is still not like working when I console log just even this. Like if I just write that, forget this whole like config thing.
Mm-hmm.
Undefined.
Okay, so go to your package.json. Okay, and then your type module. Okay, give me 1 second. Are they actually set in your .env file?
You know what? Does it have to be called a .env or .env?
Yes,
local?
literally needs to, the file needs to be .env.
I bet you. Now that you're saying this, now that we hid the file, it's a little more challenging.
Is it .env.local?
Yes.
Try to change that to just .env.
Oh, that's rock. Come on, we're
Boom.
boom.
Oh.
All right.
Got it?
You are amazing. Thank you.
Ooh, sweet.
Feel free to stick around. I don't know when Brittany's coming back. This whole bus stop thing.
How long are you streaming for?
We got another half hour-ish. We're trying to do like 90 minutes. Yes, James, it worked. So if you're wondering, we renamed it to a .env file. I had it as .env local. I don't know if you can specify that like further and choose your .env name.
I'm gonna hop off though, because actually
okay.
I'm kind of sick right now. So
all right, bud. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck.
So yeah, James. Question was it worked? Question. So the import, we just imported the entire package. It looks like directly. So if we take a look at that, it has a top level export for their TS. That's why that came in. We removed all the plus things and then just got this. I don't know if that .env will take care of Windows, because I know Windows with like slashes and whatnot, it hates it. But let me know. We're gonna obviously stick this out in the open source world, and we'll go from there. So at this point, now I really need Brittany back, because I need to do, let's see here, this API token is invalid. So let's go back into our index podcasts. Check this. All right, so that is that problem, hopefully. So podcast has unused export called post if it's for external reference only. Okay, so I think at this point we can start to use podcast within this page. Nice. Yes, definitely take a look. Okay. So I don't know how to do this part, so let's take a look. I don't know if I can just like, if I console log, it'll probably show up. Oh, not up there, it won't. Let's do this. At least then we should be able to see something, I would hope. Sweet. All right, we've got things. I need to turn those things into cards. So I'd be curious how JSX is in my brain right now, so I don't know how to do like for loops in Svelte. So let's check that out. The irony of all this, if you're watching this, we have a new course out in CodingCat, and it's called Intro to Svelte. And I've been so lazy, I probably really need to watch it because Brittany breaks all of this down. And so the goal is basically to try and rewrite or like use our Notion backend that we've been using for CodingCat for just recently because I just rewrote it. Kind of show that in SvelteKit, and maybe we'll start using SvelteKit and Vite everywhere. I don't know. We'll see. It seems fast. So let's go ahead and find out. So this is SvelteKit. Let's go to Svelte. And I can never remember how to do a for loop. If E, what else we have? Each. That's a thing. All right, cool. I like that. Each instead of for. Anthony is like so tired, but yet like still helping me out. This is why I love the LBT community. Learn, build, teach. You guys rock. Anyone else, development is so much fun because we can do it together like this. So basically, what Anthony was saying, expression each posts as post, and we should be able to do stuff with it. I don't know. I think let's just start with some divs and see how this goes. What's that title? Posts. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Or maybe I need to at least say it's a array. Array. Oh, I don't know that you can type it that way. Weird. I gotta get familiar with this whole like typing thing. So post as post, and then do you go like this? Or is there? Yeah, let's check that. Oh, you know what? It's not posts. It's posts dot results. Hey, look at that. We have our listing page. So far, so good. Those are all of our podcasts. Let's see. Anthony is adding some more suggestions here. Export let data. Not sure what that's in reference to, but that's cool. Woohoo! Yeah, thank you. Party hat. Party hat. Woo woo. You can't really see it, so I'll do this. Party hat. Okay, so we've got some things going on. We got some divs rolling in. I don't know if the divs will work long term, but that works for us now. I think what we'll do is actually maybe do this and then do an href. I don't know how this works again in Svelte, but that would be how it works in JSX. So let's take a look at the Svelte docs and how do you get expressions in like a href. If blah, blah, blah. Component directives. There's some really interesting stuff going on here. I haven't touched Svelte in probably a year, so let's see what else. If each await key. I wonder if that will just work. We'll find out. So if I do, let's see, title href is post.slug. Maybe it's not like that. You just use variable. How do you use a variable? It says on click on here. So why is that not working? Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, folks. I totally forgot to reshare the screen. So yeah, what I'm struggling with right now is how to get this post slug into this href. And I don't know if it's just like post slug. Then it doesn't like that. How do you do attributes? I like that SvelteKit as an easy search tool. Post.slug, yep. I wonder, I don't know why TypeScript's complaining then. Let's see if that worked. Div attempts to close an element that was not, oh, duh. Oh man, it's gonna be one of those days. Okay. So let's splash a little something good around here. I don't know if you can use style like this, but I will. Let's just do display flex. Yep. That's an A tag with nothing in it. A tag source. Post, Alex, post. Hey, look at all those links. Beautiful. Okay, so we have a listing now, and now comes the tricky router part, I guess. I think if I can get that to work, we'll probably call this good. Hey, Kadar. I hope I pronounced that right. Hello, how are you? Okay, so let's go back to the old SvelteKit routing and see. Got endpoint, we got pages. Let's see about page index. I think it's just going to be this. So we have podcasts, and then we need just a new page. Slug.ts. Still don't understand this whole importing of things. Maybe I don't need to do that because I'm in the TS world. Hey, Kadar. What we're doing is building SvelteKit with a backend of Notion, and I've never used SvelteKit. We had our expert on, but she had to do some kid duty, so she might join us again here in a minute. But in the meantime, the community, the Learn, Build, Teach, and others are helping me through this. And right now, we have a listing page for all of the podcasts, just like Coding Cat currently has all of our cards. Under podcasts, just like this. We now have that over here. Oops. So this is our listing essentially. So on the routing side of the house, what we're doing is trying to find this, not this, maybe params.id. Yeah, that is it. So I just basically need that thing. So we're back to this thing. So params actually, if I could break, so that is get params params comes from ID. We actually are calling that slug. I don't know if I can give the type up here to params. Params, the ID, db.get. Okay, so we'll go back to the Notion server and we should be able to get an entire page of content this time. So I've released, let me jump back over to our CCD side. So this is our Next.js side. I'm just going to go look up our Notion server over here and get by slug. Tag, get Notion database by slug. I'm trying to remember if we need page by slug. Oh no, because we are doing, okay. So we actually need by markdown. Yes, there you go. Stream page markdown. This is what we need. Which means we'll also need this. So first things first, I'm going to jump back over on this side. Let me shrink this way down. I'm learning full stack JavaScript. That's awesome. Keep up the good work on full stack JavaScript. Learn JavaScript first. Learn like using JavaScript in Node. And then once you kind of master those, start doing the stuff like I'm doing and jump into like a framework and check that out too. Okay, so essentially I didn't talk much about our Next.js, our server side for grabbing Notion data. So Notion's got a pretty cool JavaScript SDK. And so all we had to do was set up our client at first. And then in order to call that, the call actually occurs right here. So we have Notion client databases, and we're going to query our database for our podcasts. So let me bring up our podcasts again. This might look like, oh man, what are these cards and stuff like that? What this really is kind of this data. So this is all of the data that actually drives those different podcasts. And in the Notion world, what this is known as is a database. And each database, when you open a page, this is considered a page at that point. Shout out to Brandon. I keep showing your face everywhere. Okay. Go ahead, and after that, all we're doing is getting those by slugs and everything like that. So that's what got us to our listing page. Our listing page now we can serve other pages from, and so we're going to say, let's go find that page by the slug that is provided to us up here. Instead of an ID, that's kind of a nicer way to look at that. So we have that same thing. We have our Notion client again. We have databases. We're going to query those specifically for slug and make sure that we are looking for a released episode at that point, which is also what we're looking for up here. Now there's some caveats to that, like if we're doing previewing and things like that, where we're actually like working on a draft post, you can set that to draft and then just go directly after anything that isn't released. That's how we handle that too. Okay, let's see. So we're going after slug. I feel like I'm missing another query here somewhere. We have format posts. Yes. So I also need to snag, we have this markdown. So we actually do MDX from Notion. Let's see, there is a lot of stuff going on here that we probably don't need. Let me jump back over the next block. So even though we can get a stream by slug, that will only get us that database level data. And what we need is page data. So in this markdown, we actually call our stream or our slug function. So here we're saying, okay, go find the database with that slug because we don't have an ID because we're coming at it from a top level URL. So we're grabbing that link from the top and the slug that comes out of it and finding the correct post. And there might be a way to do this directly to a page the more I think about it. So might have to do some updates there, but that's okay. What I'm going to skip for now is our perfect picks and perfect guests. We really don't need all of that. That's a lot of data for us. So let's start skipping some things. We could do page to markdown. If anyone's out there and you have seen, and I'll ask that on here, does anyone know of a markdown to Svelte? So if we got the markdown, we could actually send the markdown string into something like that. But instead, we'll just take a look at what blocks come out. So all the way down here, there should be raw by slug page. Oops, I definitely took too much off somewhere. Oh, right. I forgot our markdown actually comes in like this. So, okay, I will leave that. Build the markdown for the page. Let's take that out. I know I need one of those. Oh boy, oh boy. I've got the call, and then I've got the page. The page ID goes into ID, content. Okay, so we don't need guests, and this is the part that I'm missing. So from our page, from raw results, what we're actually going to do, I think this will still work, this N2M package. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go install that really quick. Ooh, what is this? MDS Vex. Let's check this out. Maybe this will be even better. Svelte in Markdown. Sweet. I love this. So yeah, I guess if we convert it to Markdown, we should be able to process it with MDS Vex, it seems. Cool. You might have to help me do that. We'll check this out. Okay, so this Notion to Markdown, we're going to go ahead and install that. Here's what it looks like over here. That's not what it looks like. Wrong package. So Notion to Markdown. So this is what it looks like in our package. We're going to go ahead and install that. Notion to, was it Markdown or MD? MD. So we also should be able to snag that from the import. This one. So now that we've got the Notion blocks coming in, and this package actually, well, we don't have the blocks yet. We have the correct page, and this package actually you can provide the page to, and it'll go fetch the correct blocks and convert them to Markdown. So here we've got the page with the page ID. These IDs, for this, I was actually building more content than we need for now. So here's our page, our results. We send that to Markdown, and then the page of blocks goes into Markdown string, and we actually get all of that content out as a Markdown string. So it sounds like we should be able to use this MDS Vex after that. But for now, we'll just console log this and check out the string that it pulls up. Perfect picks. We don't need any of that. We don't need this either. So we can still call stream page markdown from our slug.ts. So this will be interesting is what this will be. Add that. So now we're pulling our page markdown and we need to give it the correct slug. So params.slug for parmas. Params.slug. That is a crazy mess. This is an object called params that has a slug of string. Okay. That's correct. So our item in this case, it's actually going to be a full, so I actually concatenate the raw result along with the content. So we'll take a look at that. So I think if I'm following along with kind of the pattern here, we'll also need a slug svelte file, I think. So I'll just copy that and rename it to slug.svelte. So we have our slug endpoint, and then we have our slug svelte file. So for now, what I'm going to do is try to get items and then do console.log items, or item, sorry. All right, let's check that out. So I have no idea what that's complaining about. Exports is not defined. Must have just needed a reload. Okay. 404 not found. Okay, so we do need more of the path in there. So I was thinking this would be a relative thing. I don't believe it is doing that. So instead of href post slug, what we'll do is go like that. Actually, we can just, I don't know how we'll do this. So we'll go podcasts / then the slug name. So $ for our string template, back, and then that. So we're just adding podcasts to our slug. So we should get the right URL now. Oh, interesting. So it console logged over here, which is cool. So that is on the server side as well. And then I think it will do that on the client side as well. So now we have our content all in Markdown coming through. And it looks like, I haven't tried this yet, but we have this MDS Vex thing. So let's try to follow along this and see if we can make this whole Markdown thing work coming from Notion. Now, folks, there might be, this is kind of the thing with like React packages versus like Svelte because it's so new. With Svelte, there isn't like a lot of pre-canned packages like this where it's like Markdown to Svelte, or sorry, Notion to Svelte blocks, but you could write your own where you're taking and reading each block and saying, okay, it's a H1, I'll put a H1 tag and so on and so forth. Now that I say that, we probably could even skip the Markdown piece and go Notion to HTML. So because of the way that Svelte works, I think it would allow the whole HTML string in there. So that's kind of an interesting thought too. Let me do a quick Google search on that and see Notion to HTML. I always wonder, like, who else is using this? Not a whole lot of weekly downloads. If anyone out there knows, I'll put it in the chat. Anyone know Notion to HTML script package? Well, we might find another one later, but for now, I think this will work. So we already proved that we could do the markdown side. What we can go back to, instead of getting the markdown side, what we can do is, let's write another function and get perfect stream page HTML. And so it's going to all be the same, except for when we get down here, we are going to take that out, I believe, and then we'll install this package. So I'll go ahead and do that. Once it's installed, I don't know why it's a TypeScript package and we're using that, but let's do this. All right, so now that we've got it importing, let's take a look at what it actually exports. So either way it works. And now down here, instead of doing this to Markdown, we'll do just like this. Oh, interesting. This actually has the page address. And just import it and paste a public Notion page URL. So let's take a look if I actually have that somewhere. URL. Okay, I do. Let's do that. So let's copy this. So instead of this crazy page, let's do page dot URL, I think it was. Page dot URL, yep. Instead of, oh, I see there, I have it here. Let's do that. Now I think we can ship over all of this stuff that we want. Specifically, what I really want is this HTML piece. So instead of content, we'll ship back HTML. Oh, page. Let's just do this. So if you haven't used it before, what you can do is you can write this like this with the 0. So the first item in your array is at 0. Or instead of doing that, you can actually do results and then do at, 0 as well. So a couple different options there depending on what style you like. I think if I run this now, we should get something back out. So let's take a check. Interesting. Why is it still doing? Oh, I did not change the call, did I? HTML. Yeah, so there is actual like a full page of HTML coming out. That is pretty wild. We'd probably have to chop that up a little bit, unfortunately. So I don't know that this tool is going to work perfectly, but let's see what it does. So I'll go over here. We have our item. Let's just do item.html and see what the heck happens. Okay. I think if anyone's still watching, oh, sorry, I totally missed. Let's see. Oh, it's not using the API. Oh, easy HTML var string. Let you expose markup. Sweet. So let's check that out. At HTML, that's pretty wild. So there is our actual Notion page. How cool is that? And we're statically rendering it. That's pretty awesome. We would probably have to kind of hack the HTML piece of this, but it's pretty awesome that that's allowed. I'm kind of curious with like our YouTube videos and stuff. I'm curious if it would automatically put those in. So let's check that out. What I'm going to do is, what is this one? Regaining. And I'll drop in YouTube. There we go. Let's embed instead of this image. Let's do embed YouTube. See what the heck happens. Check that out. How cool is that? Boom. Yep, that's right. Boom. I love it. So I know that was a little brief and a couple hiccups, but I think unless somebody's interested in like us doing something different every 90 minutes, I know like Jason Langsdorff does that, and we could do that too. Happy to bring someone on and like walk through different code bits just like we did, but that was simply just getting up and running with SvelteKit, calling it a backend by Notion. We did Markdown from your Notion backend into Svelte. We didn't actually put that to the page, but we could have. It looks like using MDS Vex. And then we actually used another package that is just designed to spit out HTML, and we were able to do that. So we have kind of this fully functioning, well, somewhat. If we put here, I'll put the link on here. So let's do this. On our main index page out at the front, I'm going to just put a link that says SvelteKit by Coding Cat. And maybe we'll just throw this in for good measure. See our podcasts in SvelteKit. Let's move that down a page, a smidge. There's all kinds of CSS that myself or Brittany will throw around on this thing. But for now, we can now go to podcasts. We can pick a podcast, maybe, and it will show HTML. So that's how that whole thing works from soup to nuts. It was a great learning experience for myself. I hope you enjoyed it. check out codingcat.dev. We'll keep adding more Svelte courses and everything else. But for now, that's our 90 minutes, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much.